What if the vegetables you consume on a daily basis, the ones you've always assumed to be healthful, are really accelerating the aging process in the immune system, the brain, and the legs? That's exactly what's happening to a lot of seniors. The saddest aspect is that most people are unaware of it. Greetings, your go-to resource for healthy aging. Welcome to our channel, your trusted source for aging gracefully. I'm Dr. James Rowan. In today's presentation, we're revealing information that could completely transform how you think about healthy nutrition. Most of us grew up learning that vegetables are invariably good for us. Generally speaking, that remains accurate. But after reaching 60, everything shifts. Metabolism becomes sluggish. Inflammatory responses intensify. Nutrient processing becomes less efficient. Certain vegetables can suddenly become more detrimental than beneficial in ways that aren't immediately obvious. Some varieties may spike your glucose levels, others create irritation in your digestive tract lining. Certain ones even damage the delicate blood vessels throughout your brain and limbs. These gradual changes eventually lead to compromised circulation, mental fog, coordination issues, and higher fall risks. Research published in the Journal of Gerontology demonstrates that consuming specific foods, especially certain vegetable varieties, correlates with faster decline in cognitive function and physical mobility. These aren't exotic foods either. They're probably sitting in your refrigerator right now. But don't panic. This presentation isn't designed to create anxiety. It's focused on providing answers. For every vegetable you might need to eliminate, there's another one you should begin incorporating. That's exactly what we'll explore. 3 vegetables you need to eliminate, especially if you prioritize maintaining your independence, mental sharpness, and leg strength. Plus 3 vegetables you should embrace to support everyday movement, blood flow, and nervous system health. This isn't about following trendy diets. Through scientific understanding and smarter food selections, you can age with energy, mental acuity, and self-assurance. As a physician, I've observed this pattern repeatedly. Before we dive in, let me know your current location. Feel free to share any questions and drop a comment below. Don't forget to hit subscribe and turn on notifications to catch all essential wellness tips. And I'd like to gauge your engagement right now. If this content speaks to you, comment with the number 1. If it doesn't connect, comment with 0. Seniors who maintain healthy eating habits yet still experience weakness, dizziness, or memory issues. Often it's not about nutritional deficiencies, it's about foods they didn't realize needed to be eliminated. Our goal today is to address exactly that, so stick around if you're ready to discover which vegetables will energize you and which ones are draining your vitality. We'll start by examining one of the most common yet misleading vegetables found on senior dining tables: the standard white potato. Let's begin with one of the most ubiquitous and comforting vegetables appearing on older adults' dinner plates: the common white potato. Whether baked, fried, or mashed into creamy comfort food, white potatoes represent nostalgic satisfaction. They feel familiar and safe. They appear at virtually every family gathering. But if you're past 60, this starchy cornerstone might be quietly undermining your wellness. How so? White potatoes score extremely high on the glycemic index. This means they convert to sugar rapidly. Your blood sugar surges, then plummets dramatically. The consequence? Inflammation floods your system and your blood vessels experience significant stress. Gradually, this inflammatory response starts damaging your smallest blood vessels, especially those serving your brain, legs, and feet. This leads to compromised circulation, sluggish nerve communication, and increased risks of tingling, muscle cramps, and stability issues. Consider Harold's story. He's a 72-year-old former long-haul trucker. He consumed mashed potatoes every evening. "I never eliminated anything from my diet," he told me. Then he started noticing changes, waking with tingling, cold feet, stiff knees, and struggling to maintain steady balance, especially navigating stairways. He attributed it to natural aging. But during a routine checkup, we analyzed his dietary patterns. The connection became obvious. White potatoes, especially when combined with butter or cream, were quietly compromising his circulation and amplifying his inflammatory responses. This transcends simple calorie counting and carbohydrate concerns. It's about what white potatoes lack: antioxidants and vital nutrients that shield your cells. Their pale color signals weak defense against cellular oxidation and tissue damage. The situation worsens when you add sour cream, cheese, or bacon pieces. Additional sodium, saturated fats, elevated blood pressure, and extra cardiovascular stress. Here's the encouraging part. Harold made one simple adjustment. He replaced his mashed potatoes with steamed broccoli, that green nutritional powerhouse. We'll examine it shortly. Within just 14 days, reduced stiffness, enhanced circulation, and greater confidence in his mobility. The key takeaway is clear. You don't need to abandon comfort foods entirely, just make your comfort choices more strategically. Select foods that nourish your body while satisfying your soul. So pause before loading up on white potatoes. Ask yourself, is this quietly undermining my leg strength or building it up? Let's explore a vegetable that could be promoting joint inflammation and limiting your mobility despite appearing harmless and even appealing. We're talking about eggplant. Eggplants belong to the nightshade plant family. This group includes white potatoes, bell peppers, and tomatoes. While some people handle nightshades without problems, many adults over 60 develop increased sensitivity with age, particularly those dealing with arthritis, joint stiffness, or nerve discomfort. What's the reason? It centers on solanine, a compound that occurs naturally. Plants produce solanine as a protective mechanism against harmful insects, but it can create irritation in your system, especially in vulnerable joints, your knees, hips, and lower spine. The effects develop gradually in older individuals. No dramatic reactions, just gradual deterioration. Your joints might feel inflamed in the morning, your legs could feel weighed down, climbing stairs might become more challenging. It's not because you lack strength, but because your body feels rigid and unresponsive. Solanine triggers persistent, low-level inflammation that affects blood vessels, muscle tissue, nerves, and joints. Here's the concerning part. Eggplants appear in countless dishes, grilled, roasted, or braised. They slip into meals unnoticed. The real danger? Solanine can interfere with nerve signals traveling from your brain to your legs. This creates slower reflexes, compromised balance, and higher stumbling risks. But this extends far beyond just the physical aspects. There's an emotional component too. You start avoiding stairs altogether. You decline invitations to social events because you're concerned your body can't handle the demands. Here's some encouraging news. You don't need to fasten blackout shades all night. Still, it could be wise to eliminate eggplant temporarily if you're experiencing stiffness, joint aches, or nerve issues. Remove it from your diet. Pay attention to how you feel emotionally. Less stiffness, greater energy, better balance? If that's the case, you've identified and removed a problematic food. Plus, you have fantastic alternatives available. Dark leafy vegetables, cruciferous options like cauliflower and bok choy, along with zucchini and carrots. This isn't about restricting yourself. It's about being precise, choosing foods that enhance your mobility, mental sharpness, and connection to the life you cherish. Coming up is another nightshade that might be draining your energy despite looking perfectly healthy. Now let's examine another apparently wholesome vegetable that might not be as harmless as it seems. The green bell pepper. It's commonly found in salads, stir-fries, and wraps, bringing vibrant color and satisfying crunch. Yet green bell peppers can quietly create issues for older adults, especially those dealing with nerve discomfort, digestive troubles, or joint inflammation. What's the reason? The answer lies in lectins. Lectins are naturally occurring plant proteins. They protect plants from predators and pests, but they can cause subtle damage in human bodies, particularly in aging systems. Here's the mechanism. Lectins bind to your intestinal lining. They inflame the gut wall, block nutrient uptake, and create tiny gaps that allow unwanted substances into your bloodstream. This triggers a mild immune reaction. This situation, called leaky gut, promotes inflammation, especially affecting joints and nerves. The tricky aspect? Inflammation builds up slowly and silently. Your ankles might feel stiff. Maybe you feel slightly unsteady. Sometimes it's not simply the natural aging process. Here's the concerning part. Green bell peppers are actually just immature red, yellow, or orange peppers. They're less nutritious. They can be more problematic and offer less protective benefits, especially for people with sensitive joints or digestive issues. Does cooking help the situation? Somewhat, but not significantly. Plus, the risk persists, since bell peppers are often eaten raw or barely cooked. Should you completely eliminate green peppers? Not necessarily. However, if you're experiencing digestive issues, joint discomfort, or mental fog, try removing them for 2 to 3 weeks. Then watch for better balance, less bloating, and, sharper thinking. That's real feedback and improvement. Here's your alternative: red, yellow, and orange bell peppers. They contain fewer lectins and more antioxidants like vitamin C and beta-carotene. They're gentler on your system, naturally sweeter, and more nutrient-dense. The takeaway? Don't fear food. Understand how your body responds to it. Next, we'll explore vegetables that support your digestive system, cognitive function, and leg strength. Let's begin with one that's crunchy, vibrant orange, and surprisingly powerful. Let's shift focus and talk about one of the most undervalued vegetables in your kitchen: carrots. They're crisp, colorful, and easy to enjoy as a snack or accompaniment. But here's what most people miss. Carrots aren't just a handy, attractive vegetable. They're powerhouses, especially for older adults wanting to maintain sharp thinking, strong legs, and clear vision. What makes them special? Carrots are packed with beta-carotene, a powerful antioxidant that your body transforms into vitamin A. Vitamin A helps keep your eyesight sharp, especially in dim lighting. As we get older, we become more vulnerable to macular degeneration. This condition damages the retina, making it harder to drive, read, or recognize faces. But here's the encouraging part. Diets rich in beta-carotene can slow this deterioration as you age, helping preserve your visual sharpness and independence. Carrots offer benefits beyond eye health. They also protect your blood vessels and nerves, particularly in your legs and feet. How does this work? Carrots contain antioxidants that fight oxidative damage, which harms small blood vessels and nerve endings. This leads to better brain-to-muscle signals, enhanced coordination, and reduced risk of stumbling or losing your footing. When your nerves function well, you walk with greater stability. You feel more secure on sidewalks, steps, or rough surfaces. You keep your confidence when shopping, visiting friends, or enjoying outdoor activities. No uncertainty, no hesitation. Vitamin A also strengthens your immune defenses, which becomes crucial after age 60, when your body's natural protection starts weakening. Yes, that serving of steamed vegetables and those fresh baby carrots represent more than just food. They're a daily investment in your independence. Now let's talk about preparation methods. Steaming retains more nutrients than boiling. Roasting with olive oil enhances vitamin absorption. Avoid overcooking or deep frying. That destroys the beneficial antioxidants. The beauty is that carrots are available year-round, affordable, and easy to keep fresh. You don't need trendy superfoods, you need intelligent basics. And carrots rank among the very best. So remember this when you plan your next meal. One simple orange vegetable can support your vision, legs, immune system, and your freedom to live life on your terms. In our next segment, we'll hear from Harold, who will share the single vegetable change that transformed everything. His energy levels, his knees, his stability. Let's explore one of the finest vegetables for healthy aging, broccoli. It's not flashy, it's not trendy, but it's a quiet champion for seniors. Broccoli supports your circulation, cognitive function, joints, and leg strength. What makes it so effective? One word, sulforaphane. Sulforaphane is a compound found naturally in cruciferous vegetables like broccoli. It activates detoxification enzymes, reduces inflammation at the cellular level, and supports cardiovascular and brain health. Why does this matter? Because as we age, inflammation becomes a silent enemy. It affects everything: blood pressure, memory function, stiff joints, and fatigued muscles. Sulforaphane helps stop this damage before it takes hold. Broccoli also provides excellent amounts of fiber, calcium, and vitamin K. These nutrients support digestion, keep arteries flexible, and strengthen bones. Unlike white potatoes, which spike blood sugar and compromise circulation, broccoli has the opposite effect: it stabilizes both. Now let's meet Harold, a 72-year-old former truck driver. Each evening he would consume mashed potatoes, then he made a change. He replaced them with a cup of steamed broccoli. Initially, he wasn't certain what to expect, but within 2 weeks, his daily energy levels increased. His legs showed less swelling and his knees felt more secure. He even mentioned, "I'm no longer afraid of stairs. That's the power of the right vegetable choice. And the benefits go beyond just bones and joints." Thanks to its antioxidants and folate content, broccoli also supports cognitive sharpness. Broccoli enhances reflexes, improves coordination, battles oxidative damage, speeds up nerve signals, and reduces mental fog. It's not just about broccoli's benefits. What it helps you prevent matters too. Keeping blood sugar steady helps you avoid energy crashes. Fighting inflammation protects your cardiovascular system. Improving digestion enhances how well you absorb nutrients. Your cooking method makes a difference. Extended boiling breaks down sulforaphane. Steam lightly or sauté briefly in olive oil for maximum flavor and nutrient retention. That single change made a difference for Harold. Walking, standing, and thinking. Everything felt stronger. No medications, no supplements, just a vegetable and a fork. So if you want to boost circulation, energy, and mental clarity, begin with broccoli. Up next is a leafy green that keeps your legs responsive and agile, supports better vision and powers your brain. Spinach. Let's continue. Meet spinach, one of the most powerful greens available. You've been told it's beneficial, but spinach isn't just healthy, it's a strategic choice if you're past 60. Why? Because it tackles 3 major aging-related challenges: declining muscle response, compromised circulation, and diminishing cognitive function. What makes it effective? Natural nitrates. Spinach contains plenty of them. These plant compounds expand blood vessels. This boosts circulation, especially to the brain and legs. Better blood flow means more oxygen, stronger muscles, faster reflexes, improved focus, and smoother movement. And this is crucial. Most people don't fall because they have weak legs initially. They fall because of delayed signals. When your brain can't communicate with your muscles fast enough, even a simple step becomes dangerous. Spinach helps restore that connection, allowing for safe and fluid movement. But there's more. Spinach is rich in lutein and zeaxanthin, two antioxidants that help preserve your vision. They support the macula, the center of your retina responsible for sharp, detailed sight. As we age, macular degeneration becomes a real threat. When you can't see clearly, you stop walking with confidence, you hesitate behind the wheel, you struggle to read and recognize faces. Spinach helps maintain that sharpness, so you stay independent, alert, and active. It also supplies vitamin K, magnesium, and folate. These support bone health, nervous system function, and emotional balance. Yes, spinach helps you move better, but it also helps you feel better. Let's talk preparation now. Boiling spinach too long? Bad idea. It strips away nutrients. Instead, sauté lightly with olive oil, or add raw to smoothies. These methods preserve its antioxidants and boost vitamin absorption. You don't need a whole pound of spinach. Just one small handful daily can dramatically improve your circulation, coordination, and brain function. Next time you think of spinach as just another leafy green, remember this. It's not just food, it's fuel for independence. Every serving helps protect your vision, memory, balance, and freedom to live without fear. Best of all, it's available, affordable, and versatile. Next, we'll bring everything together and show you how the right vegetables can quietly safeguard your future, one bite at a time. So here we are. We've looked at the vegetables you might eat daily over the past few minutes. Some quietly undermine your memory, balance, and legs, while others work to protect them. Let's recap. First, the vegetables you should limit after 60 white potatoes. They spike blood sugar, promote inflammation, and compromise circulation. Eggplant. It contains solanine, which can irritate nerves, joints, and coordination. Green bell peppers. They contain lectins, which disrupt digestion and cause low-grade inflammation. Now for the ones you should eat more often. Carrots. They support vision, brain clarity, and nerve communication. Broccoli. It reduces inflammation, strengthens bones, and helps stabilize blood sugar. Spinach. It boosts circulation, sharpens reflexes, and protects vision. While each of these choices might seem small, together they impact your mobility, mental sharpness, and ability to stay independent. And in case you're thinking, well, it's too late for me, remember Harold, he's 72. He ate mashed potatoes every night. He had stiff knees, felt unsteady, and thought that was just aging. Then he changed just one thing. He swapped potatoes for broccoli, he added spinach and carrots to his meals, and within a few weeks, he wasn't just feeling better, he was moving more efficiently, thinking more clearly, and living more confidently. That's the power of making informed, science-based choices. You don't need expensive supplements, you don't need a complicated diet, you need clarity and consistency. Because every bite is a vote, either for strength, vitality, and independence, or for weakness, inflammation, and decline. Here's the good news. You get to vote again every day. Now I have a question for you. Which vegetable surprised you today? Have you been eating it regularly, or avoiding it without knowing its benefits? Let me know in the comments below. I read them personally, and I'd love to hear your thoughts. If this video helped you, please like, share, and subscribe so you don't miss more tips on aging well, thinking clearly, and staying free. Remember this, you're not stuck. Your body is always listening to what you feed it. And every smart choice you make sends it a simple but powerful message. I'm still here, I still care.